Hey guys, it's the Metalblade 5, and I've been getting really pissed off recently due to a common thing I'm now hearing from WROOOOOOONG, or however you pronounce the second half of his username's fan base. Now, honestly, I've been trying my hardest to ignore them because they have taken the cake for the worst fan base I've ever seen, if I'm being brutally honest, since the majority of them come across like toxic Overwatch players, but this has been a common misconception since around the beginning of my channel that's just now getting more and more popular, being the idea that I can't take criticism. And I'm making this video simply because they're wrong. There's a difference between not being able to take criticism and finding fault in criticism. With Realm's video, I found fault in a lot of his criticism, since the majority of them came from what he thought I said rather than what I actually said. Meanwhile, Doodletones did a commentary on my response to WatchMojo's Yu-Gi-Oh! Vs. Pokemon video, which, funnily enough, is where all of this you can't take criticism crap comes from, and I thought it was a good video. While admittedly I didn't agree with all of her criticisms, I felt that the vast majority of them were fair. I left a really long comment on the video going over my thoughts on each of her points, and most of them were me saying, this is a fair point, and I'll just agree to disagree. If I couldn't take criticism, then I wouldn't be able to leave a comment like that. Hell, I've been doing driving lessons, and of course my instructor gives me constructive criticism in which I use it to improve. If I couldn't take criticism, then I would still be on stage 1 and wouldn't have been able to pass the theory test. Plus, in Realm's video, I actually admitted that a few of his points were legitimate. I will give you this just because I should have explained it a bit better. As for this thing about me being too angry in the response, as some of the people posting those comments have pointed out, it's because I pretty much started immediately after seeing the video. This is mainly because of me being autistic, but when someone says something about me that really pisses me off, which happened throughout Realm's video, then it starts to really bother me, and I can't get it out of my head. So in that case, I made the response while I was still angry about the whole thing. Granted, I'm still angry now, since I'm still getting harassed, but I would have been calmer if it wasn't immediate. Even though, if I'm being totally honest here, I personally felt that the only time I let my anger get the best of me was when I did the whiny voice at the end, since all the other times I raised my voice was solely so that I could make sure that my point got across. Furthermore, in cases in which I get really pissed off, I can make some comments that I later end up regretting. For example, on Realm's comment with the link to his video, I did end up posting a very angry reply, since it was literally just after watching that 1-hour tutorial on how to piss me off, which, in hindsight, I know was wrong of me to do, so I deleted the comment. It's just, obviously, when I get really angry, I don't think about what I say some of the times. This has also been happening in some arguments I've been having with Realm fans in the comments of Doodletone's video, in which they claim that I'm trying to cover up my mistakes, even when I acknowledge that my comment was bad. If I acknowledge it, then I'm definitely not trying to cover it up. Speaking of comments, we now get to more of the general misconception, as in it being a thing that I've been accused of in other videos, being that some people accuse me of deleting negative comments. I will admit one thing. I do delete comments, but it's only if it meets a specific criteria. That being if the comment is disrespectful towards me or others in the comments. For example, comments that call me stupid or an idiot are the kinds of comments that get deleted. Not because they're negative. It's just that I personally feel that if you can't be respectful towards someone else's views, then you shouldn't have your comment be seen by other people. If people accusing me of this did their research, then they would be able to find quite a lot of negative comments on my videos. It's just that they don't resort to using insults against me personally. Furthermore, I've also been having an issue recently in which YouTube automatically removes some comments without permission. I'm not making up some bullshit excuse or anything. This has actually been happening. I was first informed of Doodletone's commentary from 2 comments, but despite appearing in my notifications, they were gone when I checked the comment of the video. And this has been happening on a few other videos as well. Hell, this even happened with a comment literally the day before I'm recording this. So if you left a negative comment that didn't involve insults and it's gone, then that's probably the main reason why. Not because I manually deleted it. Lastly, the one other thing that people use to say I can't take criticism comes from the fact that I apparently block people immediately after they disagree with me. Again, this is completely wrong. If they're referring to the option to hide a specific user's comments from your channel, then similarly to deleting comments, I only use it when a specific user starts to repeatedly harass me. Again, by using things such as insults. However, after some time has passed, usually a couple of days, I actually remove them from that hidden comments list once all of this shit has died down. It's only a temporary block. And I don't use it for people who just disagree with me. I'm not Velicify. If they're referring to the actual block option on Google+, then again, I only do this if someone is repeatedly harassing me on someone else's video, so that they won't be notified of me, and I won't be notified of them, but later unblock them, as long as I can remember their username, once it's all died down. So if anybody still thinks that I can't take criticism after this video, then it just shows how single-minded they are, since I have even included actual evidence of me being able to take criticism. And if I was making this shit up, then why would I admit to making immature comments, deleting comments if that comment is disrespectful, and temporarily hiding people if they repeatedly harass me? If I was lying, then I wouldn't admit to this in order to make myself look as good as possible, as, again, some people are accusing me of doing. Also, this is coming from the same guy that made a top 10 fuck-ups list, and actually plans on making a second one, in which at least 2 of the entries, I haven't finalized it yet, actually involve people criticizing me.